Hey, it's Neil from Growlies. Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about puppies and fresh foods. So we get a lot of puppies in nowadays, and it's great to see people starting their dogs out on fresh foods young. We can also get a lot of people who come in after speaking with someone about their puppy and their desire to do a fresh food diet and the fear around that. And they're being told that, oh no, you don't want to do a puppy on raw until they're 6 or 8 months or a year. You want to do the first year on junk food, kibble. You want to do the first year on kibble. That makes no sense to me. That's like saying the first year of my life should only be fast food, and then from then on I can handle fresh foods or home diets and stuff like that. Makes no sense. That's really good to get you captured as a customer forever, but makes no sense for the health of that animal. Fresh foods are healthier than processed foods. Anybody who continues to say the opposite of that is not paying attention or has a monetary reason to give you bad advice. Now, I am a person who runs a store. And so I am not hiding the fact that my advice helps me be in business. But I have to admit that I do this because I was getting terrible advice from people I should have trusted to give me good advice, namely the vet. I have to say, they give the worst nutritional advice in the world. There's no other medical profession in the world that recommends processed foods over fresh foods in the way that veterinary medicines practitioners do. And I think that ultimately there is a willful ignorance around nutrition and foods. And in our town, and I'm just going to call them out, there is a whole bunch of clinics who were built by a clinic from America, a veterinary clinic from America. And so these veterinary clinics from America have bought up a whole bunch of the vet offices in my area, and those are owned by a pet food company. So they are as much a pet food company as I am, and they give just as jaded information as I do. So you ask yourself, what makes sense? Fresh food, starting young, or I want to say garbage food, but let's say fast food, convenience food, starting young? I don't know. Fresh food makes sense to me. And ultimately, we have a lot of people who are stuck on the, online looking at things, and they're like, oh, it says I'm supposed to feed 7%, or it says I'm supposed to feed 5%, or it says I'm supposed to feed the, you know what? All the bloggers out there who tell you how much to feed your puppy have never met your puppy. Not once. And because of that, their information is great as a guideline, and it's great for you to see what overall in a year your dog will probably eat, that 5% of their body weight, but it doesn't tell you what they need today. And so what I recommend is in that first 6 months and even that first year, you have to touch your dog daily. You have to touch them, and it's gonna be hard for me to do this because I have a sore finger, sorry. I cut myself cooking last night. Yes, I am the cook in the house. And so I use this part of my hand, so the heel of my hand here. If I feel that heel of my hand, and I say that that's the side of the dog, I can't feel any ribs, that means he's had too much, and I need to cut him back a little bit. And then if I feel my hand and I touch from the small knuckle to the middle knuckle, and I could feel some rib in there, and I could count each rib, it feels like my knuckles do, that means that dog needs more. Their caloric intake needs to increase. They're in the middle of a growth spurt. They may require 5, 7, 10% of their body weight that day. And then if I touch them and I touch the back of my hand where you can tell that there's a rib, but you can't count them, those are perfect. Just keep him at what he is that week. And so there's a lot of back and forth in that first year. There's a lot of up and down. There's a lot of growth spurts, and that's what's happening. There's a growth spurt, and you'll see, like if you have a lab, oh my gosh, how much do they grow in that first 6 months? It's amazing. Like in 6 months, if you took a little picture of that 12-week-old puppy you got, and then take a picture of that 6 or 7 month old dog you have, there's a tremendous amount of growth spurts that happen. And when they're in that growth spurt, they may require 10% of their body weight that day. And so don't let a website tell you what you need to feed your dog. Touch your dog. come in and I can give you a guide. I can talk to you about how to do what I'm talking about. It's not hard. And of course, when feeding puppies, especially large breed animals, we have to make sure to feed appropriately a bone-in product and a boneless meat. So they have to have a decent ratio between bone and no bone, so that their skeleton doesn't outgrow their musculature, or their musculature doesn't outgrow their joints. And so come in and talk to us. There have been over 15 years, many giant breed dogs who we've helped grow up as healthy, beautiful, wonderful animals. As a matter of fact, we've had like one Great Dane boy, he was 13 or 14, and gorgeous. We've seen Irish Wolfhounds, 15 years old. We've seen all sorts of giant breeds. They're not the heartbreak dogs they tell you they are. They don't need to be. Fresh food is cheaper than chronic illness. Okay, I'm going to stop ranting. I know I rant. Merry Christmas, by the way. I got my Santa suit on. Punny, huh? Okay, and then I want to talk about Olie. Now, Olie is a Canadian product. I know it's going to be backwards. Olie, this is their New Beginnings. This is a probiotic. This is liquid, and it's a fermented herbal probiotic. It's exceptional. If you're looking for a decent probiotic, this is one to consider, and I do use it in my rotation. Thank you, Tristan. I do use it in my rotation. I do like to rotate supplements, oils, as well as foods, and this is one I make sure to add to my rotation. It's a wonderful fermented probiotic, guaranteed alive, and it does have to be refrigerated after opening. So thank you, everybody, and I'm just going to finish off in the standard way that I finish off here. Oh, turn around. These buttons are sensitive, or not sensitive enough. More parking around back. Don't hesitate to give us a shout and ask us where that parking is. We're happy to show you. We do deliver. Don't hesitate to ask us how that works. It's next day delivery, so call a day ahead of time, and we'll bring it to your door, pay at the door with debit or credit, not a problem. And then, of course, find us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, check us out on LinkedIn, and of course on Instagram, IGTV. I've started uploading these there, and on YouTube even. We're a little crazy that way. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.